time for some real education. The Great Wave Off Kanagawa, also known as the Great Wave, or simply The Wave, is a woodblock print by Japanese artist Katsushika Hakusai, published between 1829 and 1833 during Japan's late Edo period. It's the first print in Hakusai's series, 36 Views of Mount Fuji, and is often considered the most recognizable work of Japanese art in the world.
Yeah, take a look at the picture real quick. It really is quite beautiful. I mean, this painting, this print, I should say, it's got such a beautiful flow for it, doesn't it? I mean, it's the kind of thing that somebody like me who gets routinely seasick, if I just focus my eyes a little bit carefully, I get a little nauseated, right? You can just see, and what is it that's the only thing in this entire picture that is actually anchoring anything? See Mount Fuji in the back? All these types of prints, right, were ultimately surrounding Mount Fuji, which was a holy mountain to the Japanese and a liminal one. This image depicts an enormous wave threatening 3 boats off the coast in the Sagami Bay. This is also the Kanagawa Prefecture. While Mount Fuji rises in the background, sometimes assumed to be a tsunami, the wave is more likely to be a large rogue wave. As with other prints in the series, it depicts the area and activities around Mount Fuji under varying conditions. Throughout the series are dramatic uses of that wonderful Berlin blue pigment, it's called. Hokusai began painting when he was only 6 years old. At the age of 12, his father sent him to work at a bookseller's. At 16, he was apprenticed as an engraver and spent 3 years learning the trade. At the same time, he began to produce his own illustrations. At 18, he was accepted as an apprentice to the Katsukawa Shunosho, one of the foremost ukiyo-e artists of the time. Now, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. UKIYO-E, ukiyo-e artists of the time. And that's the kind of image you're seeing here. That whole tradition centers around Mount Fuji. It shows the conditions of how that's the one thing. And you think about the Japanese for a second. Can you imagine living on a relatively small island in the middle of a very tempestuous ocean? It would have to have psychological ramifications, right? I mean, this is the culture that gave us Godzilla, for God's sake, right? Monsters rising out of the deep every couple of years to destroy everything. And a fire-breathing radioactive dragon that comes from the ocean. It shows you the deep psychological problems of having a beautiful ocean surrounding you all the time, but one, it's in a very dangerous place in terms of tides and tsunamis. Go back to the image. The dark color around Mount Fuji seems to indicate that the scene occurs early in the morning, with the sun rising from behind the observer, illuminating the mountain's snowy peak. While storm clouds can be seen hanging in the sky between the viewer and Mount Fuji, no rain is to be seen in the foreground, right? And so completely cloudless. In the scene, there are 3 oshikuri bune, fast boats that are used to transport live fish from Izu and Boso peninsulas to the market bays of Edo. So you can see those ships in those dangerous longboats right in the middle of that storm. The real genius of this, I think, is twofold. One, it's all about movement, and 2, it's all about the movement that Japan, as a culture, as a place, as a geographical point, represents in terms of stability among all of that chaos.